to uh, create my own content because basically uh, just ain't nobody really talking about nothing, man. I mean, just ain't nobody ain't nobody talking about nothing, so I have to talk about it. I have to once again come on here and give people content that is worthwhile. Like it just you know what I'm saying? It just a bunch of um broke people, man, talking about shit they really shouldn't be talking about, but trying to not be broke. Like that's what you should be talking about. Like you talking about all this other stuff, talking about people that already got money. You don't have any money, sir. You don't got no money. So it's like, yeah, man, I have to come on here, and create another live stream because, you know, because it is what it is, pretty much. Cash App NBA Genius one. If you feeling generous, um, basically, um, I'm just, talking about momentum, talking about momentum. Okay. So, in case you didn't know, there's, it's a system that I try to be cognitive of. Is called I call it the 3M system: mindset, money management, and momentum. It's a system that can help anybody from in the lower socioeconomic spectrum to even the higher socioeconomic spectrum stay where they are, and also those that are below to get higher. Okay, that's what that's about. And that's what a lot of people need help with. People, conversations are, people can talk about whatever they want to, but you gotta understand. I know people that's broke, and I know if you talking and you broke and I could just feel it in your voice. You're not even passionate about what you're talking about because you don't know how you're gonna pay the mortgage bill next month. And I can, it's like I can hear it in your voice. Like you know what I'm saying. This is a safe space for those that are financially challenged, or if you have overcome financial challenges, for you to put your 2 cents in. This is definitely a safe place for that. Um, you won't get ridiculed. Anything, we can dialogue, and we can shoot ideas off of each other. This is what I envision this channel to be for people to financially improve themselves. Not so much. I know I do entertainment stuff, and I do all kind of stuff, but at the same time, it all goes back to the money. It just pretty much does all the time. It's not nothing new, right? So that being said, I created a new app, basically a momentum scanner to check for stocks. If you were interested in using it, or you have some interest for it, reach out to me. I'll give you the code. Um, you know, not it ain't gonna cost that much. I mean, whatever you see fit, man. I'll just leave me your address, send me a cash out, leave me your email address. And once you send a cash out, just put your email address in there in the cash out note, and I'll send you the code. This momentum scanner, basically it picks up stocks daily, stocks that have momentum. I tried it out. I've actually put some money into this, so I'm just kind of starting back out. I'll say this. Another thing is, I'm getting back into trading. I'm getting more into trading. Okay. Um, I know you like, damn, broke genius. I thought you that's what your theme was. I thought that's what you were really into. Well, yeah, but I was, all over the place and stuff. But I'm actually getting back into it. I've decided that I'm gonna focus most of my energy, money, and time into trading, and all other stuff. Still gonna try other things that but I will just primarily focus on trading primarily. As far as things is concerned. So that's what I created this app. It's a momentum trading basically scanner, and basically you just click the button. It's already formulated. It's already coded, and you basically get the momentum stocks for that particular time of day that you scan. Now you can scan multiple days. Some people scan, I would probably recommend that you scan in the morning, like opening bell, so you can get the momentum for the first 5 to 10 minutes. This is for aspiring traders, swing traders, day traders. It is optimal for actually day traders because you can get these momentum stocks and basically set your stop loss and try to see what these stocks can do on a day to long or even possibly long term, any time frame from maybe for the day or possibly long term. Okay, so that's what this scanner is for, in trying to rise some type of momentum stocks. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on at the moment. It's what I created. So I am, like I said, I decided that I will most likely be trading more. I've tried a lot of other things, and I think trading is where I need to be. So that's what I'm pretty much going to do. Wow, that's crazy. And these women walking around with their cheeks out. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you interested again in this momentum scanner software, I'll just say, just send me something, send me whatever you think is appropriate on my cash up, $ NBA Genius One. Leave your email address in the cash app notes, and then I'll send you the code. You got to use Python. It's basically all you got to do is download the latest version of Python to use this application. Okay, and basically it's a momentum scanner, and it will scan stocks that basically are have some type of high momentum. Okay, it'll give you at least 10 stocks to choose from, out of all of the stocks. It's like actually over 30, it's like 3,600 stocks that are on the New York Stock Exchange and on the NASDAQ. It scans all of these stocks and find the 10 best stocks for momentum. Okay, so that is something that I just created. Is fresh off the presses, and I'm hoping that this makes me a lot of money, fast. Okay, so I'm really happy about that. It was something that I wanted to do for a long time, actually, Finally did it. It took me like a day. Took me like about 8 hours to create. Not even 8 hours, probably about, I would say 5 or 6 hours. So what it was kind of complicated, but not really that complicated. It just, downloading everything you need to get and everything. So yeah, that's something that I'm definitely working on right now. And that's available. Like I said, I'm not trying to hoard anything. If you wanna rock with it, my cash app's right there. Send me whatever you want, whatever you could afford to, or whatever you think is appropriate. I'll send you the code. Send me your email in the cash app notes again, and I'll send you the code. Okay. So that's just, what I'll do for now. I'm not gonna, I'll just leave it at that. Like I say, this is something that I'm already using, and I've started trading today. Today was my first trade with using this scanner. Bought some type of a pharmaceutical stock. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much up from here, man. It's up from here. I expect positive things, positive gains from this particular tool. And yeah, it's up from there, man. It's pretty much up from there. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about. But it's like basically, I refuse to listen to just garbage, man. So I rather go live and create some content than just listen to, just I get tired of listening to either the relationship talk, then just people talking about other stuff that, is just boring and probably already heard. And it's not really relative, It's just not relative. Like, to me, the relative conversation is the wars, possible wars that's going on. That's some hot conversation. Like, because basically forget the markets, forget crypto, forget trying to sell my house if Russia fires off nukes in Ukraine, or nukes over, Poland or something like that. Forget crypto, forget real estate ambitions, forget a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? If fucking, Putin starts a nuclear shooting match, right? So that's a major topic, there's tensions in Asia now. Thailand just fired some missiles off into Cambodia, or Cambodia fired off into Thailand. So that, the passport bros, are you still gonna go to Thailand with missiles going off? Possibly. They probably will, or maybe they probably go to Colombia. I don't know, but there's plenty of places to go. I haven't traveled. It's been about a couple years since I've traveled. I think the last time I traveled was, what was that? 2000? Was it? No, it's only been a year. It's been about a year. Last time I traveled was 2024. 2024 was the last time I traveled. So, yeah, I'm due for a trip after a while. I have to get some things squared away. I'm not ready to travel at the moment. I probably it'll take me about maybe about 4 or 5, maybe 6 months, and then I'll probably be traveling again. I gotta get some things squared away. Uh, I'm trying to deal with a lot of things right now, so I'm not really able to travel. But I'll tell you this, like one thing I will say about traveling is that it puts you, once you get your passport, you get a high, like as a man in America, especially if you single and you dating or you looking for somebody, you get your passport, you just get a higher notch. Like whatever level you're on, you get a higher level automatically once you get that passport, because it just puts you in a certain level of opportunity a lot of other guys really they can't they're not able to grasp because they don't have that passport. So like say for example, you a dude in the hood, man, and you really don't have that much money. Well, if you got a passport and you traveling and you trying to travel, or you actively traveling, you on a higher level than guys that make more money than you, because they not even moving. They, complaining, or they simping for women and, doing all kind of stuff. Whereas you could just hop on a flight, even if you got a crowd fund to do it, it still doesn't matter. You still on the higher level than someone that doesn't travel, that is dealing with low quality women in America. You'll always be above that man. So yeah, when you get your passport, whatever level you on, you already on a higher level. You kind of an elite man. Once you get your passport, it just makes you it just kind of gives you more upscale type of just lifestyle, because you have the ability to go places other people really can't go without it. Especially having that blue American passport, you're able to go places a lot of people can't go. It's I think the US passport is like number 10 on the passport list. Hopefully it doesn't drop down any further than that, but 10 is not bad. There are passports that's like higher up that list. I don't know what the list is as far as what are the best passports. I think like it's like some passport that's like worth $100,000 or something like that, and it's like really good because you could go into countries visa free with this passport. I think it's like a Bermuda passport or something like that, or I don't know. So it's one of those Caribbean island countries have a really good passport. But nonetheless, if you got one, if you got an American passport, that's sufficient. And again, like that puts you on a higher level, man. When you get that passport, just kind of like just makes you a little bit more bougie, I guess. More options, very much more options, man. Just way more options, and you could use it for business too, because if you work for a company and you got a passport, you could travel international. If they got like offices in other countries, you can go conduct business on your company's behalf with that passport. So it does have benefits. I mean, as far as even when it comes to like just work in business, having that passport. I saw passport. Not passport. What's that guy? The Wall Street Trapper. Him and his, I believe, wife, or yeah, I think he's married. Yeah, they went to China to scout out some suppliers. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, that's one thing, you could do. You could go look for some suppliers if you want to like build like a clothing line or something like that. You could go to China, and they could make you a mock-up of some type of design that you might have, or you could go to you could go to Fiverr. Like, a lot of people don't know this, right? You could go to Fiverr and then pay someone to do like some type of design mock-up for you, and you could take that design to a Chinese supplier, and they could basically make you a clothing line. Like, you could, if, let's say you wanted to make some shirt or something, and or a jacket. Make a mock-up design first, right? You might not be able to do it because you're not good at designing. Well, with basically paying someone on Fiverr or something, they can make that mock-up. You take it to your supplier in China, and they can run off a sample order for you so you can actually see how it looks. And if you like it, you can have them mass produce like 100. You could be like 100 at a time, and basically, they could just, whenever you sell these, you could just order more from them, and they already have the design and everything. So you can make like jackets, shirts, and stuff like that. Doing that, kind of have your own clothing brand, and take the merchandise and sell it. And yeah, like, you could do that. Like, how much that costs, I have no idea how much that costs. I don't know at all. Like, what it costs per jacket, or even if you wanted to create some shoes or something like that, how much that would cost. Like, I don't think it would probably cost that much. It'd probably be like maybe $10 to $15 per jacket or something like that. It all depends as far as what. I mean, of course, you can negotiate with the supplier. So that's a gem right there, for guys that, is interested in trying to get their own, like, maybe e-commerce store or something like that. And they're trying to, sell some clothes, come up with some type of clothing brand. Well, that's how you do it, bro. That's, one way you could do it. So yeah, I mean, it's, a lot of the topics, man. I just like, talking about money, because I think that's a big problem. Like, I think it's so many people that have a problem with making money, and just kind of being outside of the normal, just, kind of rat race, where, most people just work jobs and go home and do the same thing, and then maybe they get off on Friday. Like, basically, this channel is for, people to try to break away from that, like, the Matrix. I believe the financial world is like red pill and blue pill and black pill as well. I definitely believe that financially there is a red pill, there's a blue pill, there's a black pill. I'll break it down for you. We could talk about it. I got a little time. See what time it is. It's like 12. Okay. Got a little time. Well, blue pill when it comes to finances is, you don't know anything. Probably don't have a budget. You don't know how to create a budget. You don't really know, like, how to manage your money. You don't know your mindset. You don't have, like, no mindset when it comes to money. Like, you just give your money away. You just, throw your money all over the place, and then hope that you can survive, to the next check. Well, that's a typical blue pill person when it comes to finances. And then you don't know anything about the Federal Reserves. You don't know nothing about Jekyll Island. You don't, you know, where they came up with the idea of the World Banks and all of this stuff. You don't know about the Bretton Woods. You know, basically, what is it called? The Bretton Wood. I forgot what it's called, but basically, the dollar used to be backed by gold. Now it's not backed by anything. Like you don't know anything like that. You don't know like how banks make their money off of fractional reserve banking, the banking system, things like that. You're blue pill, right? Well, when you're red pill, you know about these things. You know about what what's the origins of Wall Street. You know about basically financial terms. You know about maybe even other stuff like straw men's. You know about how hedge funds operate. You know how basically how to read charts. You know how to invest. You know how to trade, most likely the forex or you know the New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq, S&P 500, things like that. Like you might not know options, but that's probably more advanced. But puts and calls. Yeah, it's definitely red pill and black pill and blue pill. I mean, like red pills, yeah, the terminologies. It's called the Bretton Woods Agreement, the Trilateral Commission. Who has money? Like I did a live stream yesterday. I was talking about the Jews. Who has actually the money in America? Who has even the money in the world? Like who really has all what countries have most of the money? Like China. China is number one. U.S. is number two. Basically London, UK, Japan, Germany, France. You know, um, Italy has money. Russia, India. You know what I'm saying? Like these are certain things, red pill, financial red pill, like maybe finance guys or finance bros, they know about these things, right? How to break down an interest rate, a APR, how to rebuild your credit, how to repair your credit, how to get your credit higher. Yeah, red pill financial terminologies. How to balance your budget, how to balance, your budget, how to, pay off your debts and a debt snowball. That's why I say when I tell people I'm a financial expert, they basically I could tell them, I could say financially I'm red pill. You know, I know certain things that I didn't used to know. I was like stuck in the matrix and I didn't know what to do. And I was extremely broke. And over the years I cracked the books open. I opened up, watched a lot of videos and I did a lot of research and I learned a lot and no longer I'm this clueless guy when it comes to finances. I am an expert. Yes, I know it might sound hard to believe, but it's like, yeah. I mean, if you do anything for a long period of time, you really don't have no choice but to be an expert in it because you've been doing it for so long. You've been researching and learning for so long. But the thing is yeah, that's definitely red pill. Now uh, black pill to a certain extent is, comes to this, You could say that in Black Pill, financially, you kind of know like who runs the world type shit. Like you kind of know basically the president is a puppet. You know, the president is behind a bunch of rich people that are very very wealthy, and they are in the shadows, and they are very rich people. They're, you know, those people are eyes wide shut that had these big ass estates. You know, the billionaires. You even got people don't even understand. Like, yeah, when it comes to financial Black Pill, like literally, there's people that is not on the Forbes list. Their money is in trusts and secret, you know, trust and shit like that. Secret accounts that on paper they're just probably a millionaire at best, but secretly they have billions of dollars hidden in assets and trusts, you know, and private trusts and secretive trusts and secret accounts, Swiss accounts, and, you know, Grand Cayman accounts and all kinds of different places, right? And on paper, they're just, you know, regular, probably individual, maybe got a million, maybe not even a millionaire, who knows? But they're extremely wealthy, and nobody knows because they don't trust the government, or, you know, they don't trust, you know, basically claim it. They don't want to have any foreign government or any government know how much money they have, because they don't want the government in their you know, in their business, trying to tax them, trying to take money from them, you know. So they hide their money, you know, and you don't know how much money they have. Like for every one person that's on the Forbes list, there's a bunch of people that are either in black market, in the black market, where they do things like for example Epstein. You know, he's a good example of this, because he was doing a lot of stuff on, you know, basically illegal and making money. And you think when he was making that money he was reporting that? No, he was absolutely not, you know. And he was making a lot of money, you know. If you got a secret account, let's say you got a secret account in the Grand Caymans, I'm talking Black Pill financial type of talk now. If you got a secret account in the Grand Caymans, or on a Swiss bank account, you can wire transfer. So you can get a wire transfer to that account, and nobody knows that account is, you have it but you know. And you can get transactions all day every day to that account, and nobody else would know besides you, because certain, you know, I ain't gonna go into all of that, the details, but yeah, like, it's people do all kinds of illegal stuff, you know. And they operate in the shadows, and they make their money in the shadows, and it's not, they're not known as far as on the Forbes list or anything like that, but they're extremely rich. And you know, you would only certain people know that how rich they actually are, or, you know, certain things like that. So you got that aspect of it, you know. That is a very, you know, it's black pill type of thing, that it does exist, where you even got people that are wealthy, right? The people that are on the Forbes list, they have money in secret accounts. You know, they have, you know, secret accounts where you basically you have people that are, you know, hide their money. On paper they're worth, you know, a couple billion, but they got 500 million in secret accounts and trusts and hidden trusts and stuff like that. So, you know, that's, you know, kind of, you know, that goes on. People make backroom deals and different kinds of, you know, deals, a favor for a favor, or Latin quid pro quo. Latin quid pro quo means a favor for a favor, right? Roman, Latin, right? Quid pro quo, right? I do for you, you do for me. So they do stuff like that, and they get deals, they get contracts, they get favors, political favors, which equates to, okay, I get the land development contract that I was looking for, for this $50 million real estate investment project that I get signed off on. Everything gets signed off on and voted for with no problems. Which, if a normal person probably would have took them 10 years for them to work out this real estate development with the city. You get it done, within, the first year. It gets a vote. Everybody gets their pockets greased, and all you did a quid pro quo. So yeah, I mean, it's just finance is definitely very, very black pill when it comes to finance. Really, to be honest, I mean, that's where you go into the whole power and control. I did a live stream and I talked about, focusing on money is one thing, but power and control is really more important, because that's how you get money. Most people, that if you think about the most powerful and influential people, they got money, and the power and influence is how they continue to get money and how they got money in the first place. And different connections with powerful people in their network, and they make money within that network, and they get certain levels of access, to certain levels of power, such as political power, social power, where you know they might be part of some type of organization or something like that. Even black pill, where you could talk about, well, if you got a whole bunch of money, let's say you got 10 million, you got $100 million or more, you can buy anything you want. I mean, you don't, let's just even think, let's go there. Like, how about you could buy anything you want? And when I say anything, I mean anything. Like you got 100 million, $1 billion. What, think about all the things, the possibilities, whether it be like in your vanilla mind or your dark mind, right? Whereas when you think about all of the possibilities that could be done, like you could just about buy anything or anybody, right? Right, like um yeah, the black pill of finance. People buying all kinds of stuff, putting prices on people's heads, all kinds of stuff, right? The dude that owned Telegram, right? The dude that owned Telegram, he's worth so many billions of dollars. Do you know this dude got over 100 kids? And don't nobody say nothing. I'm probably the only person I just saw one person just pop up again. I'm the only person that's talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody talking about this shit. This dude got 100 fucking kids, over 100 kids. Don't nobody say shit about it. People talk about Future and fucking insert name here. He's got a whole bunch of kids. Cam Newton and what is dude from Wild 'N Out? Nick Cannon and all it. This motherfucker has over 100 motherfucking kids. He's a multi-billionaire, the owner of Telegram. Don't nobody say shit about it. I'm the only this the first time you probably heard about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, dude got over 100 fucking kids. And he got the money to take care of it. I mean, I ain't got nothing to say about it as far as, like, I have no problems with that. Like, he's a multi-billionaire. He's got over 100 kids. Most of them were conceived by artificial insemination. Hell, I mean, nobody ain't said nothing about this shit. Ain't nobody did a live stream about it. Nothing. Okay? This dude got over 100 fucking kids. Right? Because he's fucking rich. You could do shit like that. Like, you could fucking do, like, fucking, scientific experiments like that. Oh, 100 kids, okay, So you think about it, right? The average kid, they say, is what? They say like $200,000 or $300,000. Okay, in your lifetime, like how raising a child costs $300,000-$400,000. Okay, he's worth like so many billions of dollars. Don't know, like maybe six, something like that. Okay, you take 400 times fucking 100. Okay, $400,000 times 100. That's only $40 fucking million. He can wire that shit while he's waiting for his private fucking jet to take off. He can wire that to his accountant so his accountant can distribute checks to all of his kids' fucking moms, But before he, gets a pre-flight check to take off, in his private jet, wire $40 million really, really quick. It's nothing to a billionaire, right? But nobody says anything about it. People talk about Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon only got what, like 12 kids or some shit. Future has like something like that. NBA YoungBoy. All of them dudes that I mentioned are millionaires, multi-millionaires. They have more than enough money to take care of like 12 children. This motherfucker got over 100 kids. So it gets on that level. You can damn near do anything and buy anything you want. Like, it's, your fucking, yacht can have a small yacht. Like, you ever saw, I don't know if you saw this, like the video of this yacht, right? It had an opening for a smaller yacht to go in the big yacht. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a yacht, you can have a yacht with a helipad with, so your helicopter, like if you have an emergency, you could fly off with the helipad, with the helicopter on board or whatever. It's stuff like that, man. And obviously, right? Whatever money could buy, you could damn near pretty much afford it. On that level, obviously. But it gets it's black pill like a motherfucker, man, when it comes to finance. So the financial world is very black pill. A lot of those day traders, stock traders, they do coke, they do other illicit drugs. They probably do fentanyl, meth, so they can stay awake because that's a high performing job. Like you have to be on your tippy toes at all times. You got to monitor, you know, heavy amounts of capital at on a day to day basis. And yeah, they do a lot of cocaine, a lot of illicit drugs to stay awake, to keep focus. Do take pills and stuff like that, ADH pills, to stay awake. Um, Obviously, the financial world and the sexual world is a lot of that goes hand in hand because what are you making money for? You making money so you can get women, right? A lot of the finance guys, they get a lot of women. A lot of people don't really think about it, but finance guys get a lot of women. Now they pay them though. They're known for paying them. They pay these women a lot of, yeah, they making money, right? The hedge fund guys, the guys that work for the hedge funds, the traders for the hedge funds, they making, millions of dollars, right? They, basically buying women whatever they want, going through, probably escorts, high price escorts, having, girlfriends that partake with their drug taking, they sniffing cocaine in a hotel room with a stripper or escort. Yeah, that goes down in that world, right? That's that dark, the dark pill of black pill of the financial world is a lot of those finance guys do have an exorbitant amount of women, and they have a lust for women, a very very strong lust for women, and they going through women, right? That's not happiness. I'm not saying it's happiness or it's something that I strive for, or it's just what they do. That's what that world, that that's a lot of those guys. That's what they get involved with, right? Sex, drugs, and um, you know, in money, right? So another thing I guess black pill related would be um the things that people do for money, right? Like not all of these people are on the up and up. I mean, some even say, I've heard that's many times, that people, if you actually want to make a whole bunch of money, a lot of the people that have gotten to that level, that have done a lot of crooked shit, to get that way. Like for example, the Kennedys, their grandfather, the patriarch of the family, he was a bootlegger for the mob. He would, during the prohibition days, he basically funneled liquor. I don't know where, but he funneled it, moonshine and other, legal alcoholic beverages to basically these, they used to call them sneakies, these where basically they were underground bars, because during prohibition alcohol was illegal. And the mob, they circumvented that, and people that wanted to drink, they wanted to still drink, so they would have these underground bars that were called sneakeasies. They had them in Chicago, like they still actually have them, where you go into this like underground like door, and it's like leads to a basement, and it was a bar, like it was a hidden bar during the prohibition days. Yeah, like Kennedy, the patriarchal leader of the Kennedy, or the Kennedy family, he sacrificed legality in order for his family to be very wealthy. The Kennedys are an example of a wealthy family, a wealthy American family, but they got their wealth not through legal channels. They didn't get their wealth like from their grandfather, basically, starting some company or anything like that. Their grandfather was basically bootlegging liquor for the mob. And he took that money and he washed it into legal business, legal companies, real estate, so on and so forth. And basically made his family very, very, very wealthy. The Kennedys is a historical family in America, a very wealthy family in America. I believe that they have been targeted, but nonetheless, very, very wealthy family in America, and their origin is from their grandfather taking a risk by bootlegging liquor to the mob during the Prohibition days. The 1920s, early 1900s. So he was smart enough to take that money and put it in wash it and put it into legal business. But yeah, he did it. And a lot of people, they have some type of, story like that where their father or grandfather did some illegal stuff and, did legal business and illegal business and intertwined the both. That's pretty much how the mob found they washed their money into legal business, and eventually they just merged into legal companies and stuff like that. But yeah, they would basically have an illegal side, the underground world, and then they would have basically their legitimate front businesses that they would launder money. People still do this today. That's why people launder money. They have illegal channels of money, and then they funnel the money into the illegal money into legal business channels. That's what the show Ozarks is about on Netflix. It's one of the most popular shows on Netflix, Ozarks. And that's what it's about. The main character in in the show, basically is a money launderer for the cartels. Very, very good show. Like, that's probably one of the best shows on Netflix. They haven't had a new episode in years. They're like backlogged with it normally takes, I think it takes like a couple years for a new series to come on, because there it's so popular. It's almost like The Walking Dead, where it Netflix puts a lot of money into production because it's one of their main like popular shows on Netflix. So yeah, it takes them like a couple years to actually film new episodes for the next season. Like, that's the same thing with Stranger Things. Like, it takes them years to actually create new episodes, a new season. So like, yeah, that goes on. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think that everyone, that's how they make their money, is through illegal channels and then they funnel it to legal channels. I don't think so. I mean, you could just get, like, if you would have gotten Bitcoin back in 2012, and just maybe don't tell anybody about it, including the government, you would be rich. You'll be one of the richest men in the world if you would have just got a whole shit ton of Bitcoin back in like 2012, 2010, or whenever Bitcoin first started. You would be one of the richest men in the world. if you would have just got Bitcoin when it first started and just kept your wallet, kept it secure, and don't touch it, and then just basically like funnel, try to, maybe probably get a secret account somewhere, and then transfer that wallet to that secret account, and basically you probably have billions of dollars because you'd had so much Bitcoin. You probably would have transferred some, during a period of time, but because that would have been a long time to wait. But if you kept most of it, you'd be the richest man in the world, like, just off of Bitcoin. The same thing goes for a lot of those cryptos. It was a lot of opportunities for cryptos. You know, Dogecoin, Shiba had that bull run where it took off. You know, um, a lot of them coins, man, they were low. I remember when Ethereum was only, I think it was like $7 or something like that. I remember when Litecoin was like $1. I remember those times. Like all of those cryptos at one time were lower than what they were, and everybody discounted them. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is nothing. This is no big deal. This is I don't understand what this is and all this stuff." And it's like, yeah, that stuff, those prices, pretty much all of those cryptos for the most part went up in price. You name it, it went up. So any of those coins, you would have probably made a whole bunch of money off of if you would have bought it back when it first started, before, when it was dirt cheap. So you didn't have to do anything or off anybody or anything. You just bought those cryptos at a low price, and you would have made money. So yep, that's how that works. So, but anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. Again, if you wanna purchase if you want to purchase that if you want to purchase the app, you could basically hit me up on my Cash App, and that is basically $NBA Genius One, all one word, and just basically send me something. Send your email address in the notes. I'll see it, and then I'll email you the code. It's on Python. All you have to do is download the most current version of Python, and you should be able to basically utilize this app. So again, this is just, I'm just trying to just put it out there, so you could possibly have a tool to use if you trade, right? I'm gonna get into Forex too. I'm gonna be getting into Forex as well. I'm gonna get back into Forex. So my goal is, I'm just gonna ride it out, man. I'm just gonna keep on riding it up, man. Keep scaling up. I should have been doing this a long time ago, but I just been bouncing around all over the place. But I think this is just a sign of what's to come. I'm just gonna be getting right into it and just sticking with it, and just riding it up. Just putting the all brakes. I mean, all gas, no brakes, basically. So that's what my plans, what my goals is for this. So anyways, well, it was nice talking to you. I'm glad, I'm appreciate anybody that hopped on to listen. You know what I'm saying? I just, again, I'm gonna keep doing this no matter how many times I have to, because if ain't no conversations, man, it's vital or important, man, I'm gonna be that person that starts the conversation. Every last time if I got the time and energy, I'm going to do it almost every time, because if ain't nobody making uh, having no content or on talking about anything important, and whatever, I'm gonna be the one that talks about it. I'll be the one that glitched the matrix for however long I choose to do so. So that'll be that.